Good morning, dear students. How are you today? I am Ruspaeva Smata Dagalivna, an English teacher of secondary school number 12. Today we'll have a new lesson. Who says stress is bad for you? The lesson objectives: understand main points in extended text on a wide range of familiar and some unfamiliar general and curricular topics. Write, edit, and proofread work at the text level independently on a range of general and curricular topics. The assessment criteria of the lesson: a learner revises the relative clauses, uses some target vocabulary to describe, reads the text "Who says stress is bad for you?", listens to people about what they do to reduce stress. Now let's revise the previous lesson doing task on learning app or platform. Relative clauses with who and which. Now let's begin. Good luck. Now check yourself. I think all of you did your best. Very good. Now new words of the lesson. Disease, auru, sırqat. Chronic, sozulmalı. Mild, жеңіл, болмашы. Hormone, гормон. Immune system, иммунды жүйе. Neurological disease, жүйке жүйесінің ауруы. Dishearten, жабырқау, көңілсіз. Beneficial, пайдалы. Cure, ем. Identify, анықтау. Please repeat after me. Disease, chronic, mild, hormone, immune system, neurological disease, disheartened, beneficial, cure, identify. Very good. Now watch the video. Who says the stress is bad for you? Now please listen attentively.
Who says stress is bad for you? Think stress is your enemy? Think again. To be happy and healthy, we all need a little stress in our lives. Stress, the disease of our times. Stress-related illnesses, the #1 cause of doctors' visits. It seems like you can't pick up a newspaper or magazine these days without seeing a headline about stress and how bad it is for your health. The message is loud and clear. You should do everything you can to minimize stress in your daily life. Is stress really the monster it is made out to be by the media? Surprisingly, most experts believe nothing is wrong with occasionally experiencing a little bit of stress. As physiologist Monica Fleshner states, only under circumstances of chronic stress do we suffer its negative effects. This type of stress comes when we face a situation that takes a heavy toll on us, a stressful job or an unhappy home life, for example. On the other hand, experiencing mild stress, according to Fleshner, can be good for us. When we feel stressed, hormones are produced from glands in our body. These hormones, such as adrenaline and cortisol, serve a number of functions. They make the heart beat faster and blood flow to the brain and muscles is increased, making us ready for action. If we hadn't developed this reaction, we might not have survived as a species. In this case, stress is not a problem, but a condition that humans have evolved over thousands of years to deal with problems. Stress not only has short-term benefits. Recent research suggests that regularly experiencing short periods of mild stress can strengthen your immune system and lower the risk of neurological diseases, such as Alzheimer's. In effect, stress acts like a workout for the brain. Just like exercising muscles in the gym, stress exercises the brain, ensuring it stays strong and fully functional. It's also worth thinking about the consequences of stress. Psychologists identify two main types: distress and eustress. Distress is negative stress, which often makes us feel disheartened. Eustress, however, is positive stress that results in us feeling happy. Take physical exercise, for example. It is stressful pushing your body to the limit, but the health benefits and feeling of accomplishment afterwards make the stress worth it. So, if some stress is beneficial, why are we continually told that stress is our enemy? According to Angela Padmore, author of The Truth About Stress, the answer lies with the stress management industry. According to Padmore, the vast majority of us do not feel stressed to the point where we need to buy products or seek professional assistance. Yet, in Britain alone, there are over 15 million websites and 2 million stress management practitioners selling a huge variety of treatments for a condition that, to a large extent, does not need to be treated. As one experienced counsellor put it, they've turned a normal part of living into a disease that needs to be cured. So, how does this help us in our everyday lives? Well, firstly, it's important to recognize the difference between chronic stress and mild stress. If you are suffering from chronic stress, get help today. However, the next time that you feel mild stress, don't get too stressed about it. It's probably doing you some good.
Okay, now I have some questions for you. The first question is, what is distress? The second is, what is eustress? And the third, how do you think? Are you good at sport? Do you agree that stress exercises the brain? Okay, very nice. You are brilliant. Now let's do exercise. Exercise 1 on page 74. Use these words below to complete the sentences. There are given 5 words: psychologist, produce, media, immune system, practitioners. Put these words where necessary. The next task is exercise 3 on page 75. Read again, and for the questions 1, 2, 3, choose the correct answer. I think all of you answered correctly. Now it is grammar time. A type third condition describes an imaginary situation in the past. If I had passed the exam, I would have got into university. It means he didn't pass the exam and he didn't get into university. Now let's consolidate our lesson doing exercises. Exercise 8 on page 75. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb in brackets to make type third conditionals. Now who wants to answer? Then let's use random name picker. Now let's spin. Okay, please just answer the questions. Now the second. Okay, Madhyar, please put the second word. Yes, you are brilliant. Now let's do the second task. The next task is listen and match the speakers to the statements. A, E. There are 2 extra statements.
Speaker 1. It was just before the summer exams, and you wouldn't believe how stressed about them I was. I wasn't sleeping, and I just felt tired and miserable all the time. Anyway, I spoke to the school nurse, who recommended running in the park. I don't know how, but it seemed to clear my mind and I could think better. It was easier to sleep, and I got fitter. Of course, I had to do the exams, but I was a lot more prepared for them, and I did well, actually.
Speaker 2.
Dan had just lost his job, and the whole family were worried about him.
I was feeling anxious from the moment I woke up to the time I went to bed. I got some advice online about how diet affects our stress levels. I cut out coffee and junk food and started eating my 5 a day and drinking plenty of water. I soon felt more optimistic and I also started to lose weight. Oh, and Dad found a great job soon afterwards.
Speaker 3. I was looking for a job and no one was offering me an interview. I had bills to pay and not a lot of money. It was a very stressful time. I'm the kind of person that doesn't talk about their problems, but eventually I told my family. They were incredibly supportive and I even got a job offer from a friend of my uncle's. Nowadays, when someone asks me how I feel, I tell them the truth.
Now, who wants to answer? Okay, very nice. Yerkeulan, please. Now the second. Yes, Madhyar, please. The last sentence. Who is the last speaker? Yes, Madhyar, please. Thank you, pupils. You are very active today. Our lesson comes to an end. Now, give me your attitude to the lesson. Reflection. 1 adjective to describe the lesson. 2 verbs, your activity. 3 new words you remember right now. Okay, my brilliant pupils. Now the lesson is over. Goodbye. Stay home. Thank you for your participation.